Hey, welcome all to this Global Hack Week data. This is my first session on this Global Hack Week, so I'm very excited to be joining you in all this adventure of finding your way through the biggest amount of data we are nowadays having. I think I once heard this is the data age, and probably it's true because we as humanity will be generating data all time long, but this time only in the few last years we've been collecting that and doing analysis over that, and that implies we have to learn very new technologies every day. But first, before we get to the topic, same as always, I would like to test my mic. Please confirm me on comments here if you can hear me. I think you can because you haven't said nothing. We have very familiar names around here. 404, for example. Uh, Dinovita. Hey. It's that the new MLH uniform? No. Um, I think this is kind of old. It's this from HackCon 2 years ago. I think for attending HackCon, many of the organizers received one of these with their hackathon names, and us for being coaches have this with the coach uh, label here. Pachuca Pachanga. I really love to read this. All good. So amazing. And I apologize in advance for all the noise from the street. It's very noisy, and I usually close my windows, but it's very hot here. I mean, the weather in Mexico, it's been so warm lately, and I have I have to be fresh somehow. So um, noise is something we have to deal with this session. So I think, you can hear me, you can see me. I'm okay. Yeah, all good. So yeah, returning to the topic about data. Um, I studied mechatronics engineering. I keep studying that, but no, for example, that motorcycle. I don't know if you can hear that, but if you do, I'm so sorry. Uh, I need a fan or something here. Let's resume. Yeah, I was talking about my classes. Um, the very common tool they teach us here in Mexico, for example, um, to how to manage this. Wearing a jacket can help if that's hot. Yeah, I know, but believe me or not, this is more fresh than the cotton shirt we have for the MLH, the blue one with the big logo here. That's very uncomfortable in warm waters. Uh, but you will have to trust me on that. Uh, yeah, again, sorry, I am just paying too much attention here in comments. Uh, to wrap up my idea here, it's the very tool they teach us in the school I learned, which is the Instituto Politécnico Nacional, and same for our universities here. It's Matlab. Matlab, I think it's very popular. It's very academic, and it's very cool. At first, I was kind of not a Matlab fan because I don't know. It kind of pissed me off that it wasn't free. You have to pay for the software, and thankfully, the university give us license. but I don't know, like that was a thing for me. But over the time, I learned that MATLAB can be really good, and you understand why you have to pay for this software. You have a lot of things, a lot of implementations in engineering that are so cool. And to be honest, I've tried to do that in Python, and you can. I am not going to lie. You can do the same in MATLAB as in Python, but sometimes in MATLAB it's easier because you have these toolkits. You have Seamscape, for example, Seamlink, and all these built on top of MATLAB things that are just great. The thing here, it's MATLAB. It's a software that when you start in real world scenarios, you don't see a lot. It's more like for academic uses. In my experience, I never heard of a company doing MATLAB. I would like to know if you know someone that does. But I want I wanted to do this session to take all your knowledge in MATLAB and put it in a working environment. Like, okay, it's cool. Now you do a very good data analysis. You made a amazing data visualization, or you used the great tools of MATLAB, but I don't want to end up with that results in MATLAB. Let's explore ways to take this analysis to Python, for example. Um, MATLAB and Python are good friends. Don't worry about this. They even released a thing called the MATLAB engine for Python, and it's a package that you can install using pip. So we just join, can repair MATLAB. It's a C variant. Okay, I'll take a second to read the comments because I see here, for example, Yashik saying, hey all. Uh, Marathushing, hey, just joined. Can recap once. Yeah, we were just talking about what we are going to do in this session and why I wanted to give this session. And in summary, MATLAB it's great. MATLAB it is an amazing tool, a very powerful tool, but it is most oftenly used in academic for academic purposes, for working environments or for industries. I would say that way. Uh, I would say that Python is more commonly used, but I want you to give. I wanted you to have this information on how to take your MATLAB abilities to Python, right? So that's the whole idea of this session. And well, data is just data. So after the analysis is done and everything is right, you can take it and display it on internet, for example. I'm a JavaScript fan, so I do JavaScript for a living. I will do that way. Uh, MATLAB, it's Siberian. It's that correct? I am not completely sure on how MATLAB it's built. If I have to guess, I will say sorry for that. If I have to guess, I would say yes. MATLAB is built on top of C, but I won't say it's a variant. MATLAB is short for Matrix Laboratory, and well, that's the whole explanation of what it is. It's a language that it's focused on having mathematical domain of vertices, matrices, which You can just let's explain this. If you have a number, you have a scalar, right? If you have a row of numbers in just one dimension, you have a vector. If the dimension increases, let's say 2 times 2, the 3 times 3, 2 times 2, sorry, 3 times 2, that way, well, that's a matrix, right? And one thing about MATLAB, it is that it is not a zero index language. It's a one index language. So we start counting from one. That's interesting. I don't know why, but yeah, the whole idea of MATLAB is to have um, easy manage of matrices. And well, when you start using it, you you quickly realize that's true. For example, Python, it's not that simple if you don't use libraries as NumPy, for example. But that's the idea. I just know that I have it MATLAB online. If you have MATLAB online, you can download it to your computer. It's completely fine. Even, for example, I'm using a Mac with M1, and prior to this 24 A version, they didn't have native support for this. You had to install the Intel one and then running on Rosetta, which was terrible. I have to admit it. Uh, and I used MATLAB online. But now they have native support for that, and it's completely fine if you want to download the app. It's not that heavy, and it's really cool. Which the whole environment change and gives you more like a feel of speedness, I will say. I used Matlab and Simulink for a few projects in school, but that was some time ago. I enjoyed it while it was free. Yeah, that's the thing with Matlab. But again, it is not a waste of time learning MATLAB. It gives you great knowledge of how to manage these matrices. It gives you the ability to do it really easy. I swear I never seen a language that does this that easily as MATLAB. Again, not even Python can do this. Um, and, let me rephrase that. Not even Python can do this as easily as MATLAB, but you can do it with a little bit more of work. Actually, I'm having right now control a control topic on my university. The class is called mechatronic control, which is like an advanced class of control. The teacher gives this in MATLAB, and I, for fun, just try to do the same that we do on MATLAB and with Python. There's a library called Python control that you have to use very very specific libraries. SimPipe, for example, that's really cool. And again, I can do it, but I see the code in MATLAB, and it's just like 3 4 lines of code, and I take like entire files just to run one function. Uh, it's like this. If you haven't seen Invincible, there is a scene in this series that the father of Invincible tells him like, "Look what they do to try to reply just a little bit portion of our power." And I feel that way when I do Python in these cases, because I really need to write my whole functions just to uh, do the same as my partners in MATLAB. But again, I just do it for fun. And so I think that's a really cool thing because uh, I increase my abilities both in Python and in Matlab. And plus, I understand better the topic that we are covering. So that's a good advice for you. Try to do the same in more than one language, and you will you will learn not only topic and the languages, but you will learn a lot of how the knowledge is not in a language is an abstract way of thinking. And well, that's my advice for you. There is some decent simulation visualizers in Simulink. Yeah, I do agree with that. As well as robotic mechatronic library is available. Yes, the thing with MATLAB again is that they have a lot of support and on visualizing things, even as for robotics, that they are really cool. So again, my final thought here is don't think that MATLAB it's not worthy. Uh, it is completely worthy, but it is commonly used in academic environments, and I want you to have the ability to reply this knowledge on Python, but in the real world, in the industry. Uh, but if you don't agree with me and you say like, "Hey, I've seen a lot of industries using MATLAB," let me know because I would like to see that. Um, okay, so I think we are ready to start. I am going to start presenting my screen. Just give me a second. I need to close some windows here. And please just confirm that you can see my screen. Give me a second. I don't know. Oh, yeah, I get it. Why? Wow. Okay, I'm so sorry about this, but I changed my laptop recently because the past one was really slow, and I didn't realize I haven't give permissions to Firefox to screen record yet. But this is asking me for restart the application, which means I need to leave the session. So that will be 1 minute. I'm so sorry, but I'll be back. Wait for me a second. Hey, and I'm back. I'm so sorry. I lost the comments. So if you mentioned something while I was gone, please let me know again. If you mentioned something I didn't read in the past, please let me know again. But now I'm ready to share my screen. So sorry about that. Okay, here it is. As you can see, this is the MATLAB, the latest version 24A for academic purposes because I'm using this under, well, uh, uh, sorry, I forgot the name. Uh, a student license, yeah. Clear. I just needed to clear the workspace. CLC. Okay, for those ones who are not familiar with Matlab, we have our folder tree, or the space where we can find where we like the folder we're working on, what the scripts we have. For example, I created a Python script just for try, but we can create a new script which is .m, the standard MATLAB file, a live script, which I like better because you can run little sections of code that you will see. Functions like functions, classes, test. I actually never use this. Just scripts, live scripts, and sometimes functions. Well, we have open the live editor where we can write the MATLAB comments. In this case, for example, I can say matrix A is equal to 0, 0, 1, right? If I run, I will see in the workspace all the variables we have and their current value. You will see this is a 1 times 3 of double type. This means this is a vector, technically speaking, but for MATLAB, this is still matrix, right? It doesn't matter if I call it matrix or not. One thing about MATLAB is that if you omit the semicolon, you will see here in this area the output of your declaration. So if I run it again, I see now that the matrix A it's declared with 1 times 3 size containing the value 0, 0, and 1. And you see here the previous value wasn't deleted because it's still on the workspace. So if I can come here and type B and save it to matrix A, and I run this, I will see the value, it's the same. And now I have A, B, and matrix A, all with the same value, right? But this is a little explanation how MATLAB works, right? I see some comments here regarding your question about input with respect to companies using MATLAB. I cannot think of a company that uses it. I prepared a machine learning video analysis tool for my city government. However, they felt MATLAB cost too much to incorporate for the project they had in mind. That's the main thing here, and yeah, I heard that frequently. And some people will tell you like why to pay MATLAB if you can do it with Python, and you can do it this other way, and blah blah blah. Again, the answer is yes, you can do it with you can put in balance, right? How much it will cost paying for the tool versus how much it will cost developing in other tools. And well, it depends a lot, but you could put it that way to try to convince them. But yeah, let's return to MATLAB. So one thing we can do it's again if the common window, uh, we can clear the values here on the workspace, and we can CLC the commands we have declared here on command window. Which doesn't disappear are the live editor things. In this case, these these sentences we declare, but this time it will throw us an error because now we don't know what matrix A is, right? So unrecognized function or variable matrix A, we don't know what that is. Common common functions here on MATLAB. It's linspace, which starts from 0 to 1. Uh, did I miswrite it? Okay, I think yeah, I miswrite it. Sorry about that. No, no, no. If with arguments, I'm missing 100. I which this means I'm going to start a vector from 0 that ends in 1 and have 100 is too much 10 elements. So let's run this and let's see the output. What? Oh, sorry. This is with commas, not with 2 points. And if we inspect the value here, we will see we have 0. This is even it's a pair, so uh, 0, 1.111, 0.222, dot 333, dot 444, dot 55, dot 66, dot 77, dot 889, and 1. Right? So that's how this works. But the question here is again, Alberto, I'm here to talk about these wonderful things about MATLAB and how we can use it and blah blah blah. But give me a good advice for that, a good example for that. Well, um, here I don't remember who, but I saw someone commented and they use it online. I am going to teach you. For example, if you come to here MATLAB Academy, this is my page. You will find a lot, but a lot of courses that MATLAB gives to their students. So, for example, you can use MATLAB online here, but we have the formation, the academy, to say somehow. And for example, I completed some Simulink fundamentals, solving ordinary differential equations with MATLAB, introduction to linear algebra, the MATLAB fundamentals, solving nonlinear equations with MATLAB for data processing and visualization, object-oriented programming using MATLAB, deep learning with MATLAB, deep learning on-ramp. These on-ramps are like smaller courses. The other example, to 6 hours. No, no, more. Like for example, the Simulink, the MATLAB fundamentals. I think it's like 3 days to complete it. It's insane, but it's very complete. I really love that course. But these on ramps you can complete it in 3 hours. MATLAB says one, but the truth is, if you want to put attention, it's 3 hours. Teams can be on ramp, control design, Simulink, machine learning. I don't know why this it's 0% because I think I completed it. But I think it's because they expire. I don't know. But yeah, the thing is that you can find a lot of courses here. And let's take an example of the data one. Yeah, this MATLAB for data processing and visualization. So we are going to skip. This course was created for Grace Kennedy for the MATWork teams. Um, you see 8 hours. It's huge, and yeah, it's not 8 hours. It's like 2 days for this. Defining categories of data, analyzing groups with data. Maybe here we can find a cool example. Review, organize. Let's see. And the cool thing here is they give you all the environment and stuff. Uh, for example, I need to update this course because it's out of date. That's sad, but not this time. For example, they give you these test case on reorganizing groups of data into a new table. In the last session, you learned how to create groups, blah blah blah. You could use the two grouping variables defined in columns and make them a new table. Here you will learn how to unstack the aggregated data. What I want here are the tables. So let's see if we can export. I don't see. A great thing about this is that, for example, if you are stuck, you can check the solution. But I'll just do it to continue at some point where we can take the output, maybe in an advanced module of the course. That's course, that's a course. Okay, let's continue. Again, the myths to this. Okay, one way can take this piece of code, take it to ours, x, y. We can do a mesh grid. The function still is the same. This is the figure, and we now want to do this. Okay, let's run this. Okay, very good example. That's enough for us, right? So, surf it's for x, y it's at the surface. Okay, so let's think we need or we want to take this example and plot it using Matlab. Well, and this is a little spoiler on our very good friend here at Majorly Hacking, um, GitHub Copilot. So let's take this code. Let's open our project. I think I can close this. Well, I'll keep it open, but in another space. Hyper code developer, global hack week data, global hack week data Matlab, and here it is. I want to talk with GitHub chat, and I'll ask this code is for a Matlab script. How could I do this with Python? And you'll see the output, which is really cool. And we had our script prepared here. Um, let's insert. I'm just getting these warnings for I don't have NumPy installed or Matplotlib or from yeah, I need to install this pip install NumPy Matplotlib, and I think that's all. I'm not using this. Okay, let's try with these ones. If you want me to make the font bigger, I can do it. I think this way you understand better what's happening here. Okay, while this loads, let's do take a look what is happening here, and let's compare it to our code on Matlab. First, this don't come built in on Python, so we need to on install some libraries, NumPy and Matplotlib for visualization, which in Matlab we don't. That all comes together, but that's cool. We declare an variable, same as here, and a y, and we set mp and call the function arrange from 0 to 0.2 using no sorry from 0 to 6.2 using 0.2 separated values. That's the same here, but in MATLAB notation. Then we use np.meshGrid with the values of x and y to return the values of x and y, but now uppercased. Here it's the same, but for example, here we need to declare them as an array, like in this containing what's the word for this? Square brackets. Hmm. Then using the function of sin and cosine uh, that comes with numpy, we declare a function that's called theta. Theta, we are going to plot the figure and save it as a figure variable. We need to add this as subplot with a 3D projection, and we call that an AX, which is our axis. In this case, MATLAB comes with the built-in function that's called surf for surface, which give us this, and we just save that on an S value. In this case, the axis is the function GCA, but for us, we are going to add the axis, the plot of the surface of x, y, and theta, and then just a function to run this all. I see a comment. Yes, thank you. It's much appreciated. I think that's for the font size. But now we have our all we need. Now Python script .py. Let's run it and let's see the output. Oh, the figure we have opened here is this one. Let's compare to what we have on Matlab. It's pretty similar, right? Maybe I just need to move the axis to position it. I want to rotate it. Let's see here. Okay. Well, this part here, it's this one here, and this corner around here is this corner around here. This body here, it's the body here. Uh, th- I think it's easier to rotate this one. You see, and this time, Matlab has a better option for rotating. We can even click here, and this will show us the exact position of the mesh we generated. We can open this in a figure window. So now we have two figures window, one from Python, one from Matlab, and yeah, I want to rotate here, rotate 3D. Okay, amazing, cool. And now they are in the same position. That's cool. So in comparison, they look very, very similar, right? This is just to prove that you can do the same in MATLAB and in Python. Notation changes, yes. We have some built-ins here on MATLAB that makes it easier to do this type of analysis in MATLAB. In Python, we have to do a little bit of more tricks. Plus, you need an environment. You need like, if you think of this, you need more experience programming to do this on Python. And in MATLAB, it can be less, how to say it, less technical experience. You can just focus on the mathematical thing here. Uh, and that's the thing. MATLAB, it's very, very good for people that don't need to understand in full the programming, right? So if you want to focus just on the topic, MATLAB, it's amazing. But if you do know how to program and you do know how to integrate all the things, set up a Python environment, manage Python versions, know which libraries you can use, well, then again, here with Python you can get amazing and very, very similar results. Let's close this and let's close the figure from the MATLAB too. I see a comment. Should I learn Matplotlib or Plotly? Which is the use case for both? Oh, to be honest, I haven't heard of Plotlib. I use Matplotlib because I think it's really cool and it has a lot of support of the community. I mean, I think they have a big amount of users, so that's a good thing for me. But I will say it's up to you which fits you better, which one you think it's better, and that will be the case, the result. um, for me, Matplotlib just works fine, and I don't do that often Python to put me to compare which one is better, Matlab or Matlab. You know, I'm more for JavaScript. What can you do with it next? Say, I wanted to send that graph to another person. Do I have to send that program to another person and hope they can run it? Does Python have a way to click on a specific point like MATLAB did? I think it doesn't, for at least in Matplotlib. I don't know even Plotlib, but let's explore. Well, it doesn't show you like these comment in a graphical way like MATLAB, but if you take a look here on the bottom right corner, you will see the coordinates of where you are pointing here. Um, the thing is you can't rotate. So let's say you want a point that it's in the hidden side of this face, you won't be able to point at that. At least not with the program we have. I think we could have, yeah, we can do a script for rotating this and show it in a different perspective. But again, it's adding more complexity to a simple code in which in MATLAB that comes built in. In Python, we need to program that. That's why I just say that um, MATLAB it's more for focusing on the topic you want to develop. For example, let's say this is an analysis on the minimum value. So you want the lower point here. You can do a gradient descent algorithm to pass the mesh, and the gradient decrease algorithm will tell you which is the lower point. Um, and in that case, that's what you want, right? The lower point. If you open this in a graphical way, you will see, hey, just the lower point is this. Click it, and that's the coordinates. Well, MATLAB helps you to do that, to focus on just the topic, not on programming these kind of things. Um, and we are going to take that of let's the next step on if I want to send this program to another person, which one do you think it's more probable that you other person have MATLAB installed with a valid license, or I don't know, Python, or you can convert this Python to an execute program for Windows, for example. Um, Basically, how will I send that graph to someone and not to force them to run it? I don't know. I would say the easy way is just to take a screenshot of it. Uh, but if you want to do an interactive app that helps you to change some parameters, I don't know. Let's say we're giving this as conditions, but we can change it for variables. Let's say x final, x initial, and then we can say here from the user the input of x ini x initial and x final values. We accept this, and the next time we run this Python script, we need to enter the value. I will say -1, and we were working with, oh no, I will cancel this. This was 0.2, and now this is x final. Sorry, and then run this again. Minus one, and instead of 6.2, this would be just 7. And the output change it, you will see it was not a big change. But if I put it in configuration, oh no, I don't have the other one. But you will see this changes. And for example, I can do the same for um, separation. Separation. Enter this again. Python script. And x initial would say 0, same 6.2, and you will see I will give just one value separation. Now the grid doesn't look that fluid, it looks like cardboard. This is different, and for doing this type of scripts, in my perspective, when you want to translate it to a real world application, Python it's better, because for doing that or hearing the input here on Matlab, yeah, do the same. You can add a control here, for example. It will be numeric slider, and the label will be find separation. The mean value will be 0 because, well, 0.1, and the maximum value will be 2, with steps of 0.1. Default value is 0.2, 0.02, which I think was the best. And we are going to run when the values change. Amazing. And let's see how this affects. You see? But let's do this, and again, the same example you were mentioning. Let's think we want to share this with another person. If I have to do that here, how I'll do it on Python? Well, I will try to do it as an app, to do it in web, to make an executable. Why I'm getting Firefox jumping? And in MATLAB, I think we are more, um, let's say, we have less options. But what we can do is, for example, export this to HTML or to a Jupyter notebook. Let's call this example one. Export. I want you to see something. Not even the file we exported to HTML has the same ability of the slider. It just saved the last value of the slider. We don't have that interaction here, so that's kind of tricky. You see. I think I'm a little behind with the comments, so I'm going to take a time to see them. Basically, how would you send that graph to someone and not force them to run it? I read it. The quick answer will be just picture. Um, but again, we're talking about how to do this interactive, right? To change these type of parameters. That's why we were talking about this. I believe deploying it first and then sending, you can assume someone has a project set up you have. Yes, uh, deploying, it depends what you mean with deploying. Depends on how you want to share it. If we are web developers, we can think of deploy, put this on a web app, and then just put it on internet, and people will access it. Yes, that's the beautiful thing about web. But when we talk about data, things are not that easy. When we talk about Matlab, when we talk about Python, things may not be that easy. But we are going to talk about that. Exactly then, how did you deploy between quotes? It's somewhere so someone else could see it without hoping they can run Python. Vercel, Cloudflare, Netlify, or AWS. Yeah. Again, for web, yes, but let's say you want to share a file, you want to share something that the user just needs to put in their computer and they'll have everything they need to run the project. Um, in Python, I save it as an image, use the line of code, but I'm not sure about this MATLAB. You can do it too, it's the same, but we are talking about changing things for the script without the necessity of modifying the code. Sure, I don't need them to change the variables, but I would like them to be able to point and click the same thing that I did, which you show it. That's a good. Seems like it needs to be running somewhere. Yes, for that, yes. Um, I think MATLAB, you will get the option to save, export the graph. I'm not sure about that. How we can do that? I think. Well, I know I can export this as the figure, for example, here, and but that's a MATLAB type, and only a MATLAB compiler can read this. So I'm not sure what you mean with in MATLAB you get the option to save export the graph. I see in Python it looks like there's a save icon all the way to right of the icons. I don't know. Let's see that 0 final it's 1.3 and separation it's 1.001. You mean this? But it's just for saving the image. It's a PNG or well that type of image. It doesn't save you the interact thing here you were mentioning you want. So again, that's not the case. Um, no clue what the home icon on the left will take you to. I think it's when you want to restore the default values. For example, let's see, I do a big zoom here, and now I want to restore the values. That's where the home lets you do. This is interesting. Yeah, data is so interesting. Oh, try HTML. I want to see if it gives you something that can be published. Everyone has a web browser. Yes, but again, it doesn't give us the ability to modify this. It doesn't give us the slider, and it doesn't show you on here the pointer. It's just a plain image. It's not interactive. And you may be thinking, maybe with this HTML5 we can modify this and add the slider on our own. Let's explore the file. I am not going to lie to you. So, what we can do where is example HTML? We have you think you can we can take this file it another slider. This is a compiled file. This is the thing they just give us for deploying it. This is not even code for coders. This is code for the computer. So I don't think so. I don't think we can take this and add manually or slider, or even add the interaction to put the pointer in the mesh and give the coordinates. We need more than that, right? So export to HTML sounds good, but in the practice, it's not that good for Matlab. So let's keep exploring. Uh, Interesting that the slider doesn't translate into the HTML. I guess why not just send a screenshot into this case log? Again, the screenshot is the easy answer, but we want interaction. We want people to use this as an application. So we'll look that. I am coming at this from the mindset of a report developer, I guess. When the report is developed, there is a way to deploy it for multiple people to see. There's some interactivity to see exact values. Well, actually, that's the great use case of this export to HTML, because you can do all the analysis, blah blah blah. You can add comments here. You can even hide the code and just leave the graphs. And for example, here as text and say like this graph represents the income in the past 2 years or something like that. And well, here for example, you see no code, just the graph, the text, and even the slider, right? And you put here just this is slider again. It's not for the people who are seeing the report. It's for you to set a value like in a more flexible way, and then you generate the HTML, you generate the PDF, and you say it to your clients, and that's a way we can do this using Matlab. But the question here again, how we can do this interactively. Oh, another option are these free tools like Tableau. Yeah, Google's Logger Studio. Yeah, Tableau Public. It's a perfect example. I'm wondering if Python of MATLAB has something similar. Um, Sorry for taking us on a wild tangent. No, don't worry. I think the session is for that, for showing you how to take these mathematical, just educational, uh, let's say very focused tools for the real world, for the people, because no other users will have MATLAB, no other users will have Python. So how we can share this to the world? That's not a tangent. That's what we wanted to see. It will a bit technical, but can you interactive dashboard with Plotty Dash with Matplotlib, Pandas, and Python? Um, hmm, Plotty Dash. I haven't heard of that. Let me Google it very fast. Um, Dash.plotty. No, yeah, I haven't heard of this. Dash Python's users guide installation, minimal Dash app, fundamentals, quick start. dash fundamentals, the layout, the basic callbacks. Oh yeah, they have a dedicated section for interactive graphing and cross filtering. Hmm. You see, this is really cool. Yeah, that's a good recommendation. Thank you. I'll display this here for those one who wants to do this. This is another way, Bloody Dash. That's so cool. Um, I was thinking more of doing it on our own, using JavaScript, HTML, or whatever. But yeah, that's something cool. Oh, hey, check out this plotty.com slash blogs dash matplotlib. Here, you just found this. Amazing. Gonna check out Plotty Dash after this. Looks interesting. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't sharing. This was in another screen. But here's the Plotty Dash page. Kudos to Shonix. No, sorry, Shohinks, for sharing this with us. This is amazing. So as the tools, for example, we have here on the majorly hacking, which is s- um, sorry, uh, I forgot the name. I can't believe it. I forgot the name. Um, it's a red crown for Python with balloons. Streamlit, yeah. Oh, I can't believe. I don't know why I was going to say StreamYard. I just think my mind was not in the proper time. But yeah, for example, you can do this using just StreamYard, which is a really cool way to take your Python analysis and put it in a web browser and deploy it in between the codes. You mentioned that, uh, and yeah, so that's how we can take these really great stuff on Python and do it in MATLAB, vice versa, right? But let's do another thing and a final thing, which is why to repeat the same code here on Python if we already done it in MATLAB. Because for me, I think the easier way to share something, it's Python. Python has more flexibility for sharing this with the public. uh, One, it doesn't require a license. Two, um, you can connect it easily with tools like Streamlit, with Dashboardly, with um, vanilla JavaScript. You can create a backend for this. You can do million things, um, many things with Python. Meanwhile, MATLAB helps you to make the analysis fast, but it's not that easily to share this with the world. So that's why we are going to do another thing to do the analysis on MATLAB, run this thing on MATLAB, and the result have it stored on Python and then share it. And for that, the beautiful people of MATLAB created something called the MATLAB engine or MATLAB API for Python. I'm going to show you here, not in the comments, the link to this. So it's a package you can add. If I go here to my packages, I have it already installed. I'm using Conda. I really recommend you to do it if you manage many Python environments. Uh, Here MATLAB engine I have already installed. It's the 24 version. Um, and well, that's it. Just run pip install MATLAB engine and you will have it. Note that Plotly Dash is built on top of Flask. Great fact. And then we are going to use this script. So MATLAB in Python.py. So we are going to import matlab.engine, and the engine will be matlab.engine start MATLAB. And well, let's see if we have any problems this far. Python, MATLAB, Python. Okay, it freezed, but let's keep a second to think. Okay, output seems good. Okay, so no problem. Um, let's take an example here. I'm reading the docs here, which you can find on mathworks.com slash help slash matlab slash matlab engine. Um, start matlab. Okay, then we need to create a function. Then the engine dot cd users documents matlab python. No. cdr here. Oh, what I need to think of is if this is say um, example one, and I now want to copy path for this. Okay, yeah, now it works. And dot my function. I won't explain what this is doing. Just give me a second to set it up right. Um, Well, the thing here it's this is a live script, and I need to create a function. This function should have the same values here. Put 6 input arc. This is not going to have input arcs. This is going to be called create mesh, and the output arc will be the figure. Out figure. No, sorry, the surf. Okay, let's run this. Create Matlab where to say yeah, save. I don't know why it returned me an extra figure. Give me a second. This is returning me something that I don't want. The mesh grid in X and Y. Let's say we just want to return X and Y. The rest, yeah, and see that. We don't want it. And now we can comment this. Cool. We can run this. Awesome. Okay, okay. One, two, three. Answer. Cool. Uh, okay. So we now return here, and instead of example one, this will be create mesh. Uh-huh. And this is create mesh. And this will be stored in X, Y, and theta arguments. And let's print them to see what they have. Okay, let's run this again. Who we have a problem here. Are we using CD? Unable to change current folder to name it's not exist or is not a folder. I think we already are here, so that shouldn't be the thing. Even if I do eng, too many values to unpack. Okay, but that's cool because if I print here the MATLAB engine pwd can call these, and this should give us the route where we are step on. Okay, no worries. I just want the route where we are step on. Come on, give it to me. Amazing, yeah. And something I do wrong here is I need to pass uh, an arc, an arc out tree because I want three arguments and arcs, and I need to print the arguments here. Cool. This is what we wanted. Amazing, don't you think? And for example, the thing of the arcs is that I need x to be arc 0, x to be arc 1, x theta to be arc 2, and now we can uncomment this and run it again. And I can delete this. So my x is this one. Well, I need to separate. But let's do a little bit change here. In the change, it's that now we want an initial and a final and a separ space value. Initial, final, and the space. And we are calling this with the initial set as 0. Let's add the comment here. Initial, final, step 0 with a final value of 6 and a step of 1. And in this case, the output should look very different. It would not be that huge. Mm. This is an error for the types. Error in create mesh line 7, tracked line 5. So. Functions here for input arguments of type in 64. That's something we need to take in count because, um, for example, uint Python types of integer can be int 8, uint 8, int 16, uint 16, integer 32. MATLAB it's more delicate on types. Uh, so let's make these floats to see if that helps. In that case, the cast of the types will be for a double, and yeah, it helped. So you see the x, it's from 0.0 to 6, separated one value each: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What I don't know is why this is so huge. I will add to the workspace the initial to 0, final to 6, and this tab space to what? And I will run this. Well, I can run create mesh 0.6.1, and I'll just delete this to see what's the. Oh yeah, I understand because I was thinking, I don't know why, that the X in lowercase it's the one I wanted, but no, yeah, the value is completely fine because I want the mesh grid. That's cool. That's cool. Sorry. So again, explaining what's happening here, it's we are importing the MATLAB engine. The MATLAB engine has a function to start MATLAB. This is saved to a variable I call engine, but you can call it however you want. And we are calling a function that we created here on MATLAB that creates the mesh. It returns the value of x, y, and zeta we need in order, same as here, to do this. So we can copy this part. We need to import the matplotlib 2 here. But in this case, we are not using NumPy here because we are not processing any data on Python. We are doing that in MATLAB. Um, Plus, this is not step, this is the space. But yeah, the step, it's a good name too. Um, and we can run this again. And we will see the output of this. It's slower because it's sharing data between two applications, MATLAB and Python. You can understand that. MATLAB.double has no attribute and dimension. Okay, this is a problem. Okay, AX dot plot surface. MATLAB.double. Okay, this was returned as a MATLAB.double. which means we need to change the type of this. But don't worry, we will do it. Mm, mm. Matlab.double. Okay, I think I kind of lied because maybe we are going to use NumPy um, library, but not as how you may think. But for doing this, np dot array, and let's see how this behaves. This is just for the type casting. Meanwhile, let's see the comments. Um, yeah, this works really fine. As I was away, do you need a MATLAB license to use this Python code? Sadly, the answer is yes. To run every type of MATLAB code, you need a license. It is not that library you had commented out on Access. No. The thing was that I needed to cast the types. There's a whole section of this. I was checking that out here. On MATLAB, well, MathWorks, MATLAB passing data to Python. That explains which types. For example, if you send a float from Python to MATLAB, it will be cast to a single. If you send a complex, it will be cast to a double. If you send an int, it can be cast to integer 8 or integer 32 or that types. That's kind of a pain. But here, for example, I used NumPy that helped me cast these arrays to a NumPy array. I think, I mean, I'm not using these NumPy library to perform operations as we are doing here. For example, we are doing an arrange of these values. No. Here we are just saying, hey, you will be for the type array, right? So that's it. We save that, we print that, we have the list of it here. Now we use the matplotlib function to create a plot, and now we have it. And this is it. And now we have the ability to do Python, very the old good Python, um, to say, for example, don't start here. Sorry, the steps. Now I want more steps because I want this to be a really smooth surface, and the output should look not like a cardboard but a really smooth surface. So what's the advantage of this? You may be thinking, hey Alberto, if I can do this on MATLAB and I can do this in Python, why combine them? Again, my perspective, and I think many will agree with me, it's that MATLAB it's really great for computational performance. Here, for example, I change it. I change the parameters. I run the function in MATLAB. I have the result of Python, and I just um, plot it here on Python again. So Computational performance on MATLAB, it's great. Have the ability of use matrices to perform operations between them, having the built-ins on MATLAB, and you can return the values to Python. I think you have the best of both worlds. We have each of them have single limitations. Um, and again, you can do it vice versa. I think, I mean, you can create a script here on Python, sorry, on MATLAB, and otherwise call Python if you want to perform something else on Python and save the result here on MATLAB. But I think the best use case for this is perform the operations on MATLAB, because I think it's better for that. It has a lot of built-ins, has a lot of functions that help you to resolve things quicker with less code that it will have in Python. And then using Python, search your results, do the interactive part, do the real world part, which is connected with a user. And well, that's the end of this. I would like to know if you have any questions. I think some of you don't have a MATLAB um, license for trying this, which is a shame. But I will share these codes in a repo. Actually, I will do it right now. I will upload this to a repo. Meanwhile, you can write down your comments here, and well, that will be it. Um, Let me prepare the repo, and I see your comments. Okay, here it is, the GitHub repository, where you can see Um, this with use for MATLAB and for Python. Remember, you need a license to run at least the MATLAB script. That's the question here. What you mean you need a license to run it in Python? Does importing a library ask for license? No. You can run the Python code, but for connecting to your MATLAB function, you will need MATLAB compiler and all that stuff that requires license to be downloaded and to be run. And that's all. That's the thing. Um, but for what I know, MATLAB has student versions, so you can ask for one and you will have it. Oh, okay. I had a problem uploading it here, but don't you worry. I will take. I will fix it. I mean, the link is the same. I am just going to take a little bit more to push it here. But, well, that was it. I hope you learned something about how to connect MATLAB with your real world scenarios like this using Python. Now, having the ability to connect these two great tools, it's a blast because, again, you receive the best of the world, but the two worlds. You receive the Python dynamic ways to connect with the world, and you receive all the power of MATLAB. The thing is, again, you need a license for this, but in case this session fits better for you, and you as me are someone who was taught on the university to use MATLAB, were instructed to perform all your analysis there, you will I think you will appreciate this more. If you don't, if you have been using Python for all your life, well, that's good enough too. Python is great, and keep rocking with Python. Thanks a lot for joining me for this session. I really appreciate being here and have the opportunity to connect with you hackers. And I will see you tomorrow for Today in Global Hack Week. And then after that, JavaScript plus MongoDB. I will show you why that's a powerful stack. Well, that's it. See you tomorrow. Yes, thanks you. It was quite informative. Oh, I really appreciate that. Cheers. I hope you resolve all your question. Thanks. Thank you very much. Well, bye bye.